After watching and participating in a few live panels this week, I've come to the conclusion that too many people are in relationships with their hopes and not their reality. And the one thing that kept crossing my mind is potential doesn't love you back. I think one of the biggest mistakes that people make in their relationships is falling in love with potential instead of the actual person standing in front of you. Potential is exciting. It's full of possibilities. It allows you to imagine who someone could be if they learned how to heal, if they matured, if they learned how to communicate better, went to therapy and became more emotionally available, or just simply putting in the effort. But potential doesn't pay the bills, and it doesn't love you. Potential doesn't communicate with you, and it doesn't show up during the times where you need that other person to be there for you. It doesn't reciprocate, and the version of them that you're in love with doesn't actually exist. And I think too many people spend years carrying relationships because they're convinced they're investing into someone's future or into a future with this person. Meanwhile, they're the only ones investing into that relationship. They're the only ones who are trying to communicate. They're the only ones compromising. They are the ones making all the excuses. They're the ones hoping that one day all the love and patience and emotional labor that they poured in will finally be returned to them. And the problem with this way of thinking is that a relationship can't survive on possibility. It survives on reciprocation. If you're constantly giving while someone else is just constantly taking, you are not building intimacy with this person. You are building resentment towards this person. Every time you ignore your own needs because you're waiting for someone to reach their potential, you're sending yourself the message that who they might become matters more than how they're treating you in this moment. And resentment has a way of collecting a lot of interest. At first, it's the disappointment. And then that disappointment turns into frustration. And then that frustration mutates into exhaustion. Eventually, you don't even recognize yourself because you have spent so much of your time and energy pouring into someone else's growth that you've neglected your own. Love isn't supposed to feel like you're constantly auditioning for the bare minimum of effort. Healthy relationships aren't built on one person's hope and the other person's excuses. Relationships are built on two people who are equally invested in showing up for each other. Can people grow? Absolutely. Can people change? Of course they can. We all do. But you should try your best to be with the person who's standing in front of you and not the person that you imagine that they'll become 5 years down the line. Potential should be a bonus, but it's not a solid foundation. You should be choosing people who are willing to meet you where you are today and not people who expect you to wait indefinitely while they figure out whether or not they are willing to meet you at all. Because love should grow with you, not leave you carrying the entire relationship by yourself.